Welcome back to our deep dive series. Today, we're getting into something really interesting, the world of radio-controlled vehicles.
Yeah, it's huge space.
It really is. And we want to figure out what really makes a hobby-grade RC different from a toy-grade one. Because, it's more than just how much it costs or how fast it goes, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's really about the whole philosophy behind the design. What did the manufacturer actually intend for this product? And crucially, what kind of relationship do they expect you to have with it?
Okay, so it's about intent. When we say hobby-grade, what are the absolute must-haves, the
Yeah.
core things?
Well, I'd say there are three non-negotiables, really foundational principles. You've got repairability, upgradability, and maybe the most important interface, proportional control.
Proportional control. Okay, break that down. How's that different from, the basic toy car?
Right. So most toys use what we call bang-bang control. It's just all or nothing, full left turn or straight, full throttle or stop.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Hobby grade, on the other hand, uses proper analog systems. You get servos for steering that allow you to make tiny adjustments, really fine-tune your line, and electronic speed controllers, ESCs for the throttle, giving you smooth acceleration, braking, reverse, the whole range.
So it's not just pushing a button, it becomes a skill.
Exactly. It transforms driving from just telling it where to go into something you can actually practice and get better at. You can be precise.
And that precision matters when you start talking about power systems, I imagine.
Definitely.
We've seen this huge jump, haven't we? From the old brush motors to these super efficient brushless ones. What enabled that leap?
Well, brushless motors themselves were a big step, much more efficient, less wear. But the key, the thing that really unlocked their potential, was the LiPo battery revolution, lithium polymer.
Right, the LiPo.
They have much higher energy density, more power in the same size pack. But critically, they have very low voltage sag. They don't sort of wilt under heavy load like the older battery types did.
So the battery could finally keep up with what the motor demanded.
Precisely. It created this powerful feedback loop. Better batteries allowed better motors to perform, which drove demand for even better batteries and motors. It really pushed performance through the roof.
Okay, so you've got precise control, you've got serious power. What holds it all together? The chassis and suspension must be different, too.
Oh, massively different. Think about a typical toy RC, usually brittle plastic, right? And the suspension, if it even has springs, they're usually undamped. They just bounce like a pogo stick.
Yeah, totally uncontrollable bouncing.
Hobby-grade vehicles.
Yeah.
Totally different approach. Modular designs, so you can replace individual parts. They use high-impact materials like reinforced plastics or even metal alloys. And the shocks are oil-filled.
Oil-filled shock, so that gives actual damping.
Exactly. Controlled damping. You can tune it by changing the oil weight or the pistons inside. It makes a huge difference in handling, durability, and just the overall experience of driving it.
Thinking back, it feels like these lines weren't always so crystal clear, like the 1980s.
Yeah, the 80s were kind of a golden age for the high-end toy, you could say.
Right. You had companies like Tamiya making those detailed kits you built yourself, mostly sold in proper hobby shops, very hobby grade in philosophy.
Definitely.
But then you also had huge players like Tyco or Tayo making ready-to-run stuff. And some of it was seriously impressive. I mean, the Tyco Turbo Hop.
Oh, yeah, the Turbo Hopper. That thing was iconic and fast for its time.
It was so advanced, it actually got featured in Radio Control Car Action magazine, didn't it? Which was usually all about complex kits.
It did. It really shows how ambiguous things could be back then. The features were starting to blur the lines.
So how did we get to the situation today where it feels much more stratified?
Well, today we see this clearer modern stratification. There's this interesting tier now, the budget hobby brands. Think WL Toys, Bezgar, those sorts of names.
Okay, I've seen those online. They look fast.
They often are fast. They offer hobby-grade features, like brushless motors and LiPo batteries, at really low prices. But here's the catch. They often lack the crucial hobby-grade ecosystem.
Ecosystem, what do you mean by that?
Reliable spare parts, availability, upgrade paths, consistent quality control, knowledgeable community support, all that stuff. You might get a fast car, but if you break something, finding the right part can be a nightmare. Or the quality might just not be there long term.
Ah, okay, so that leads to something like the Tamiya paradox.
Exactly. You take a vintage Tamiya like a Grasshopper or something. Stock, it's pretty slow by today's standards. But it's still fundamentally hobby grade because of its design philosophy and that whole ecosystem. It's repairable, upgradable. You can learn that it offers a journey, that fast, cheap, budget car might be impressive initially, but if it breaks easily and you can't fix it, it's closer to a disposable toy in practice.
Right. And that repair aspect, that became really central after ready-to-run models became common in the hobby grade world too, didn't it? The defining moment shifted.
Absolutely. For many people entering the hobby now with an RTR, the first big crash isn't the end, like it often is with a toy. It's actually the start of really engaging with the hobby, figuring out what broke, finding the part, fixing it, learning how it works.
That makes sense. It's a different mindset. A good example of this whole philosophy divide is maybe a bus.
A bus. How so?
Well, you see toy RC school buses all the time, right?
Mm.
Because toy companies focus on recognizable body styles. Kids know what a bus is.
Sure.
But you don't really see hobby-grade RC buses. Why? Because hobby-grade manufacturers focus on viable performance platforms. There's no real bus racing or bus rock crawling scene demanding that specific chassis type. The performance potential just isn't there for a typical hobbyist.
That's a great point. The form follows function, or the potential for function in hobby grade. Toys often prioritize recognizable form over actual performance function.
So wrapping up this deep dive, the real takeaway seems to be, it's not just speed, it's not just price. The true difference is the product's sustainability and its ecosystem.
Exactly. Spare parts, upgrades, knowledge sharing, that whole support structure. A toy is fundamentally designed, often, to be disposable. A hobby-grade product is designed to be a platform, a starting point for a journey.
A journey of learning, repairing, improving.
Mm-hmm. And maybe a final thought for everyone listening, think about other things you own. Are they just products? Or could some of them actually be platforms for deeper engagement if you just look for those hidden ecosystems? What else in your life could be a hobby waiting to happen?